Hi guys, we're back with a new episode of
Welcome to Yeonsu.
So today we will be talking about the housing in Korea. And I think, housing is a topic that a lot of students might find difficulties in. There could be like language problems, there could be just a lack of information, and it's not always easy to find a place in a foreign country, right? So today I would like you and myself to share our experiences of housing, how it went, and things like that. So how about in Korea? Like, do you guys have experience with housing in Korea? What kind of difficulties did you face and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, I'm still a freshman right now, so I'm still just living in the dormitories.
For me, well, I do live in the dormitories because I found it more convenient and cheaper than renting a place. But I have friends with experiences renting a place here in Korea, and the major concern that they had is that the deposit was quite big. And the better the housing, the more you have to put the deposit in.
So guys, actually in Korea there's the system of monthly 월세 or lease contract, which is like chonse. Do you guys know about this at all?
I think the first one is when you pay the deposit. So you put in a certain amount of money, and then you just pay monthly for your apartment.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Not sure.
How about you? Do you know
I
how
do
it
not
works?
know.
Well, okay, so how it works is I'm going to tell you guys about the chonse, which is something that only Korea has. And I was very surprised to hear it at first because I was just very confused. Why would anyone do that? And then it just makes so much sense. But chonse, which is translated to lease contract, is kind of like you pay a big amount of money at first, and then you pay it to the owner of the house. And you don't pay a deposit or monthly fee, and then you stay there. Let's say your contract says you're gonna stay there for 2 years. So for 2 years you don't pay anything else, and then after 2 years you get the money back, the full money back. And it's such an interesting concept because yeah, it exists only in Korea, and it's so interesting, and it's very good if you have money. Like a good amount of money, and you don't want to have monthly rent fee worry. You can just pay it and then you can get it back.
So you live for free?
Yeah, it's kind of like you live for free. So, and how about monthly 월세? Do you know how 월세 works?
Not really.
How about you?
I've heard from one friend that you kind of pay an arm and a leg up front and then pay little bits to just make sure you're still living there.
Yeah. It's kind of 월세 is kind of the same everywhere around the world, you pay a deposit money, which is usually a big money if your 월세 is little, and then less money if your 월세 is higher. So you pay each month a certain amount of money, and on top of that you have to pay the management fee, which usually exists in apartments. So, but I think, that's very common in the world, but chonse, the whole concept of chonse is very interesting for me.
Yeah.
So I found it very interesting. Korea has this very interesting concept of these housing, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So housing, of course, the financial part of housing is very important, and the environment is very important as well. Where do I live? How do I live? But for me, one of the things I look for in a house is the safety. I want to be able to go to that area and feel safe. I think I need to feel that safety. I want to walk in the night and be able to think, okay, I'm safe, it's fine. So for me personally, safety is something that I think is very important when it comes to housing. But how about you guys? What is your standard of a good housing?
I would agree on safety. Definitely I feel safer when I still see that there's some elementary students walking around the streets. That's when I'm like, okay, I'll make it home okay.
If they can make it, I can make it.
Yeah. I also, since I come from Guam, we have a lot of jungle and trees all around, and I appreciate that Yeonsu also has many trees.
Oh, okay. So you kind of think that the natural environment is important.
Yeah.
For me, I think location is really important. Yeah, because If there's things near the housing, it's really important to me because I like to go out a lot. Yeah, instead of staying in. And if there are places that I could go explore and stuff like that, it's that's what I really appreciate about housing. That's why I think Yeonsu is really good because once you go out, like there's so many things to explore and see. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually gonna ask you something similar, but like, according to your standards, like, do you think Yeonsu is a good housing place? Because personally, I feel like it could be just me, but I feel much safer here than in Seoul, for example, because the houses are very tall and everywhere is CCTV everywhere, and I just feel safe. And you know, since there's not much of a, like an LA kind of like you know like little streets kind of. There's like big streets, big everywhere. It feels nice, but this just personally, it's just me. But how about you guys? Do you feel like your standards match with this environment?
For me, definitely yes, because on Guam, growing up in Guam, I'm not really used to that like city life. So I like that it's kind of empty here, but there's still a good amount of things to do.
Oh, I see. I see.
Well, for me, probably the same. Of course, Seoul is like, when you go out there, it's so chaotic and there's so many things to do, which is good, but at the same time, especially if you're a university student, you go to classes, you have so many things to do, and for the rest of your free time, you just want to relax and you don't want anything chaotic happening around you. So I think Yeonsu is a perfect place for that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's why I've been living here for a long time, but I agree. I think it was great that we shared our experiences with it and some small tips that the people can learn from. Always, thank you for sharing your information with me and the others. I hope a lot of international students learn from us and they don't do the same mistakes we've done, or they have a much smoother life in Korea. So yeah, see you guys next time, right? So see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.